Hey guys, Papa Rome's here. Today we're smoking suckers that we just caught and we're trying them different weight. So this is one of my hot smoke methods. We're going to keep the temperature today somewhere around 175 to 225. That's about average. I ran out of propane, so we're just regulating by thermometer tune because I'm going to teach you how to make your own wood chips. I'm going to teach you the differences of what kind of wood to use and a great brine recipe on these suckers. Two different methods that we're using today. This here is hardwood. We have maple. Some of it is mixed in with oak, but majority is maple. That's going to be our fuel. That's going to be the propane to burn. And then on top of that, we're going to put our fruit trees that I'm going to show you coming up, how we harvest them. And now we just split them into pieces, peel the bark, throw them in water, and we have our homemade wood chip or smoking that you would have to buy out of a supermarket. You could use alder bushes if you're in the north, up along River Creek. You could use fruit trees, are my favorite. Apple, this here is peach and pear. Some mesquite, hickory, pretty much anything hardwood wise is it'll be okay, but that's what I'm using, and I'm going to show you the recipe here, how we brine it and get it going. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned. We did it again. We went out for more suckers. Why? Well, because we enjoy the way they taste. So we've been frying them. I baked them. They're good both ways. But now what we're going to try to do is smoke them. If you haven't had smoked fish, you should try it. It's amazing sometimes. So first what we're going to do is we're going to process these out a little bit the way they are with their bones in the tail area. We're going to brine them for 2 days and then we'll smoke them. The way I'm doing it today, you're going to want a good hardy knife. Make sure it's nice and sharp, and also you're going to want maybe a fillet knife. Stay tuned. I'll show you how we're going to quarter them. So the reason why you want a hardy knife, you're going to go through a lot of the bone here. So I'm going to come right up under these pec fins here, and I'm going to just cut right down. It's going to get messy today. All these we're going to keep for the garden. Then I'm going to come here on this side, and if you remember, and if you haven't seen my other video with how to fillet them, I'm keeping for my fillets this section here right up to a little above the anal gland here. And the reason why, this has like forked bones, so if I'm smoking them, they're gonna get stuck in your throat. And what better, you know, fertilizer than this fish here anyway. So what we're gonna do is remove that, cutting down a little bit above the gland there. Take that out, and then we're going to keep the belly on them. These are packed with eggs, as you can tell right here. That's where your fillet knife comes in. You're going to get that fillet knife right on one of the sides here, and I mean, if it's a sharp fillet knife, it'll do its job. You won't even need the bigger knife at first. It'll make your life a lot easier coming down here. You're going to open them up just like that, and then I'm just going to go right down here. So now once you get down to your rib cage, that's where the bigger knife comes in. See how it's opening up here? Okay. Open them up just like that. And now we're keeping all the egg sacs also, because we're gonna eat these, but this is what we're looking for here. And then gonna just scrape out all the guts. Them on that side. And we're going to get rid of that on the side here. And that's going to be all utilized. These are going to get washed. We're going to brine them for 2 days. Look at that. Beautiful. But that's what we're looking for right there. So I just finished up here. This is what they look like. Literally took me, I think I got 7 or 8 fish, and it took me like 10 minutes to do them all. Got this gunk in here. I'm just going to use that as a sponge, and then I'll put it back. It'll keep growing. It's also antibacterial. Put it back. Ice cold water. Look at that. So I had this here soaking now for about 3 hours. I'll take a lot of the blood out of it after we rinsed it. Nice clean cuts of meat. Okay, we're gonna make the brine. Very simple, very easy. Gonna just put 2 cups, because I like the sweet when I'm smoking, brown sugar, a little over a cup of salt. Right here I have some granulated garlic, onion powder, a little black pepper, 2 tablespoons of each, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I have a half a cup here of brandy. Don't have to put that if you don't want to, but this is more or less the same recipe I do for my brown trout, lake trout. 1 pint of Dole pineapple juice. Gonna make sure you stir it up, incorporate it really well. I'm just gonna whisk it together, have it break down as much as possible. I might take a look at if all your dry ingredients broke down. All right, so to the brine here, we're just gonna add about 1 gallon of water. I'm gonna go about a half a gallon to start. I'm gonna see where I'm at. Yeah, it should be okay. I just want to make sure I'm able to fit all the fish first. So you want that water to dilute a little bit of this, being they're going to be in there. I'm going to keep mine in there for 2 days. Sometimes you could only do a day, but when you put that water in there, it allows you to go longer. So that's what I'm going to do. What you do is just take a look with a spoon. The more fresh you use your ingredients, like your powders, if they're fresh, they're not going to clump together and they'll dilute and dissolve quicker. So that's what you're looking for. These have been cleaned and washed, and we'll see where we're at once we start putting them in. I think I have 7 in here, but they're all, you can see the color of that. I mean, really, really nice color there. Scales on, fins on. If you slowly push them, you'll be able to pull out a lot of that air, because there's air gaps in there you make. Like down here I have a big air gap, allow it to submerge. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of ice. Even though they're going in the fridge, I want them to stay really cool, and that'll help push down also. And that's it. I'm gonna pop these into the fridge for 2 days. I'm gonna alternate them tomorrow. Here we are, we have a Asian pear tree here. So for smoking, I prefer to use a fruit tree. We're gonna mix it up, and I'm gonna have a mulberry down below. We're gonna go get some branches off, and this Asian pear here. And what that does is it produces like a sweeter smoke versus a more intense smoke. Like say you're gonna do oak, that would be more intense. So that's why you use more apple or cherry or mesquite, hickory. So we're gonna take these branches off, and then you got to peel the bark off. That's another part. It's been raining and it's still green. That branch broke, so it's not going to do any good anyway. So I'll remove it. It'll release the perfect amount of smoke that you want when the tree is still green. We're going to utilize the whole branch here, but a lot of time the bark produces also like a bitter flavor. So we're just going to peel that bark off very easily. Just kind of shave it right down. And then we're going to cut it into manageable pieces so that we could just lay it on to the little burn area. And we have some amazing wood. Just getting the fire roaring. Originally we wanted to do propane, but with everything going on, we're pretty limited. We're empty on 2 tanks. So what I did was I just set this up here, took out the water pot or a pot, and I put it over the propane burner. And then we're gonna just put our coal in here, and we'll just go that route. So it's not the best ideal condition that we wanted, but you know, with the propane you could control it. Doing the smoke here now with the coal, we're gonna have to manipulate it and maintain it the whole day. But I got some good peach here, and we have some pear. We didn't get mulberry, we didn't need it. So the first thing you want to do is get your grill, and but right here is just some vegetable oil. right, so what you want to do is we're building up a bed of coal. Like I said, it's a really rough day today because it's windy. But with that, if we keep a drink going all day, keep the coal going all day, we'll have enough heat and smoke to do what we need to do. We got all this fresh maple here. This here is where you can get your flavor though. So the coal is going to be your heat source because I don't have propane. And this here, this piece here is peach. You keep it a small enough piece. That's where you're going to get your best production of smoke. It'll burn up quick and then dissipate. That's it. Just like that. If you don't like the big wood chips, you just split them like I'm doing here, soak them, and then once you're done, because I'm not going to go through all these, it only takes a few at a time, you just save them and now you have your pretty much homemade wood chips. I'll split these too, but why buy it when you could go pick it, you know, if you have the woods available. If not, then you're gonna have to buy it. And say you want to do like fine wood chips that you're gonna do a lot of them, just put your knife towards the edge, a couple clacks, done. And just so on and so forth, and keep going however thick you want them. And you can make your own homemade wood chips. Okay, so if you look over here, this is our fish brine, and if you notice, the level came up a little bit. Not much, but what happens is when you put salt and sugar together, it releases liquid. So we're gonna rinse it. A lot of people might think, well, why would you rinse it? You're gonna take the flavor out. But if you notice here, you have a little bit of a buildup of just like your juices and spices and all that. So just gonna take a quick rinse here. Start with our lower rack. Okay, and that's pretty much all you have to do. That'll get just about everything off. If not, just do another dunk, clean them up, but they look pretty good. All right, just like that. Okay, what I'll do is I'll start in the middle rack here and just kind of go through them. Some are going to be smaller than others, but they look good. They look amazing. Look at that coloring. And you can feel the meat firms up when you do this. About a half a cup of brown sugar. You have 2 tablespoons of honey and about 4 tablespoons of water, hot water. And it just makes a real nice sweet mixture. And when you put this on, it turns to like a candy. And then you just kind of coat your fish, the inside. All optional, but it does give a really good sweet flavor. You could add whatever flavors you want it to here. Brandies, you name it, whatever. This is what I do and it comes out good like this. I like to start with a nice chunk like this. That's usually what I like to start with, and then I'll add to it as we go. Usually I'll probably need a little more than that. Okay, there you go. There's 2 ways to do smoking for fish. You have cold smoke and hot smoke. We're gonna do hot smoke. Cold smoke would be no heat and you have it channeled through like a cool area or a different chamber. Hot smoke, you're gonna sort of cook it. You're also going to smoke it. I'm gonna just let this acclimate in here before I start adding my wood chips. Check out my dampers here. And right here, I'm gonna just keep that opened up for now because I want airflow. And then I'll close it down, and on the side here, I'm gonna open it up and that's gonna feed more air. Once this comes up to temperature where I know where I'm at, I close it down and regulate it, and I'm gonna put the peach wood to smoke. Okay, so it's been about a half hour and I just put a coating of oil, vegetable oil that I had left over, help protect it, the smoker here, and we're right above 200 on the thermometer. Usually I can feel it, so I can see already the way the fish is going. We're good here. We have plenty of heat. It's, I believe, under 200. Now is the time that I'm going to add these. Doesn't take much, just a couple at a time here. Probably be good with just that. See how it's smoking already? See how it's releasing all that smoke? I'm just gonna close this up, and this is the process. Keep adding coal and smoking. Now down below here I have water, so you also have moisture buildup in here too. Okay, so if you look here, what I like to see is a light smoke coming out. That's why what I did was let the coal burn down, get the heat out where I could regulate regular coal, and then you drop your wood that you want for chips, whatever you're gonna do for the smoke. Start doing this as I need it. You could just pull coal, nice big chunks is what you kind of want, and you don't need a lot, just a couple at a time, 3, 4. That'll bring the temperature in there up a lot. And blow off that dust. There you go. Let's see how they're looking. Golden brown. Okay. So what you notice is here, now I have a little bit more heat, but this is the wood here. And the aroma out of that wood is actually like a perfume almost. That's peach tree that I used. And it's just a slow smoke. And if you notice, the hardwood, because it's coal that you're using, there's no smoke from that. There's no smoke coming out. The only smoke you have is off the wood that we're putting in. So that's like a big key part of it. Then as you get here, if your bottom rack smokes more than the top rack, which will happen, you could alter them. It's starting to look really good. So also another thing with smoking over coal, hot smoking at least, when I started out, I used to think that it was always, you had to have a lot of heat, a lot of coal. It's very little coal will go a long way. It'll go hours with just that. Just that little amount of coal will actually, it's already been burning for 2 hours. So don't think that you need a ton of coal to go a long way. Just keep the pieces a little bit bigger. They'll burn longer. And just watch your temperature. If you have too much, just take it out. You know, if it's going too fast, take it out and go that route.
That looks good.
All right, so I'm just keeping them nice and moist with that sugar, brown sugar, water, and honey. And just kind of baste it. They're going to dry up no matter what, but that's kind of the point of it. But this will give it a little bit of extra glaze. You don't have to do this, but I do a little extra with these. And then if you notice, I took the bottom rack and I moved it to the top rack because it was cooking quicker than this one. But if you could tell, I'm able to grab this by bare hands here, and it's fine. There's nothing at all, you know, it's not too hot. All right, so this is after 3 hours, and they're starting to get some good color. I added a little more wood just recently, but almost very little to no coal. Like, look at that. I could keep my hand there for a long time. I could touch the metal because it's not hot. I'm not doing a hot smoke, either I'll cook them. But look at these colors before it gets dark over here. You know, it's definitely looking good. And this will be the last one of the night. So I'd say we probably still have like 2 hours left on these minimum. I'm going to bring up the temperature a little bit, but you could tell as it's starting to crack now, they're getting closer to being done, but they're not ready yet. So right here, the heat is a little high, but when you come up here, perfect. And up here, even cooler, but it's starting to look good. I mean, now it's good. Now I moved the temperature up. Got some smoke in my eyes. So I moved the temperature up from, I'm gonna shut this, right around 200 to 225. Had at 235, 245. And the reason why is I'm looking to get a little more higher heat now towards the end. And I'm just gonna dump a whole boatload of smoke and create that bark all the way around it. So we're going on right around the 4 or 5.5 hour mark now. So it takes some time. Smoking takes time, but it produces an awesome flavored fish. So here we are, we got about 7 hours into it. The last hour I raised the temperature up about 25 degrees, 30 degrees. We're right around 250, and we're gonna check them out, see what they're looking like. Yeah, you can feel the temperature in here, a little hotter, but not too crazy. Top rack. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. So if you touch them, nice and firm. Yeah. See the color under them here. Ah, look at that. That looks perfect. Put that back in. I'm gonna probably leave them a little bit longer. Not that they need it, because you could tell they're starting to dry up a bit here. It's nice and juicy. You can tell here, it's hard to tell probably, but the little bones are starting to come through, the rib bones, and that's when you know they're good. See here, by oiling it, helped a lot. You can let them cool and then they'll peel right up, no problem. Okay guys, so if you're still with me up to this point, we are finished. I could keep them going longer, but I don't need to. I could tell they are exactly what I'm looking for. And I'll pull these out and show you what they look like. Oh my gosh. Look at that. See that dark color, caramelized? That is what you are looking for. Beautiful. Top rack. Nice. I think internal temperature is like 165, 170, but they're good. They are definitely good. So I'm going to bring these in, and what you want to do is let them cool overnight. What I notice is when I smoke trout, look at those ribs. I notice when I smoke trout that they become better like the 4th day, 3rd day, the later that I do them. And the reason why is I guess the heavy smoke dissipates on them, and they just become a better taste, more mild. So these are going to be good. You're just going to watch all the bones, obviously, but you'll have a lot of good meat in here. Watch the pin bones too. So I didn't want to just leave you in the dark there because they got obviously dark, and I wanted to show you what they look like and how they tasted. So what I did was I took them out, put them back into a Tupperware here, clean of course, and I left them in the fridge for about 2 days with the lid cracked. And what that does is it dissipates a lot of that smoke, allowing it to be more mild. You don't want to eat it hot. When they're hot, they're just, you can, not that you can't eat it, but they kind of disturb, they're too much on it, so it dissipates out. But if you look at them here, they are amazing. These look professionally done. I mean, just really, really done well. And I'm happy with that. So usually my smoked products come out pretty darn good. And I go off texture. A lot of people do temperature. If you're doing temperature, you're gonna have to look it up exactly to see where you want to be at. But I could tell by feel and touch where the, you know, where you want to be. So I'll try this one here. It's already broke. Just gonna want to watch a lot of the bones because there's a lot of little Y bones in there. But I mean, that looks really, really good. All right, so I just had a phone call, but anyway, I tried just trying little pieces because there are a lot of them pin bones. You got to be careful. It's good. It does not have a heavy smoke flavor, which is what I like. I don't like heavy smoke flavor, although it's smoked for like 9 hours. But it you taste the brown sugar for sure. It's almost like a jerky, but it's very good. I think I like them fried better though, but just another way to try them out. All right, guys, stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care, guys.